On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Do you feel as though that your lady has a standby?
Nah, nah.
Absolutely. Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm 1000% sure about that.
So if you was to mess up like 2 months from now, you wouldn't see her in a relationship with somebody or either dating somebody?
Nah. Now, if it was a year from then, if I messed up and it was a year from then, nah.
Before we move on to the next topic, let's get this house in order. Make sure you guys take opportunity right now to like. And a lot of you guys watch all the time, but you haven't subscribed. So maybe you've forgotten, but I'm here to remind you, this is the greatest show ever. So go ahead and subscribe. It's okay. You're in a safe place. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. If you just tuning in, we're moving on to our next topic. Brillo, I'm coming to you first, just so you know.
Already. I figured that.
All right.
You already know my answer.
I don't know. It's going to be.
So, wait.
Anton, no answer.
What you say, Anton? Okay. Can women?
I just want to make sure he got his skirt up. His skirt up before he answers, so we can see exactly what's going on under there. That's all.
Can
women ever be trusted? Really? Can women ever be trusted?
Hey man. First of all, I'm gonna answer yes, and then I'm gonna add context. Okay, so we all know the cautionary tales. We know all the different movies, all the different real life stories what we've seen. Men entrusting women with their secrets. We know about Samson and Delilah and things like that, right? But I would also say, when we look at successful men, some of my idols, right? I think about Reginald Lewis, and I think about his wife who controls his legacy right now. And, and I don't know if this is specific to Black women because his wife was Filipino or is Filipino. But she is definitely a woman that he trusted. And we see all these men of renown trusting these women with their utmost secrets, the access to everything that they own in life, right? If we go back to, and I know we're not in that space now, so I'm gonna bring it back to the future. But if we think about our great-granddads and our granddads, and you talk about that man bringing his paycheck home and giving it to his wife and trusting my grandma, my great-grandma to pay the bills on time, do whatever she need, and then she would give him what he needed to go out and do whatever he needed to do for the weekend, right? So in that regard, that's the aspect that I'm taking that question. Now, if I have to think about today's modern woman, and I pose that question on, can women ever be trusted? If I'm going on the paradigm of today's modern woman, then that's where I would pivot and I would have pause for concern. And the reason why is because I think about something my grandma tells me all the time, which is y'all not made from the same stuff that we was made from. These women today is not made from the same stuff that my grandma was made from. And that gives me pause for concern because the message that's been pumped into women for the last, 40 years almost now, juice a man. Get as much as you can get up out of them, right? You get a man that likes you more than you like him. And in that regard, it's a lot of dudes, they talk about it now. I'm talking about modern times, right? So in that regard, like, I don't know that they can be trusted. Not on that end.
Real, I want to ask you this. If a man is married, right, should he be able to trust his wife? Or can she be trusted in?
1000%. He should be able to trust his wife.
Okay.
If he's married, he should be able to trust his wife. Should be able to trust his wife.
Now I want to ask you this. Now, if you have a younger son, let's just say he's 13.
Okay.
What advice would you give him as far as when it comes to trusting women? Like, would you tell him that when he gets married, that he will be able to, that he should be able to trust his wife?
No.
Or would you tell him?
Funny.
Good one.
Or
That's
would you
cool.
tell him? No, I'm not gonna put that out there because then I don't
No,
want you
no,
to
no. But you know what?
take
No, no,
my
no,
response, my answer. But
no, 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 no. You
go ahead.
actually, no. You actually answering a good question, and you seeing me, in real time. Consider what you asking me, because a lot of times I think about the advice that I give my son based on women from my era, my generation, what I know. And I'm not thinking about the women from his generation. I do talk about him being careful, him saving himself. I talk about not necessarily abstinence, but just being, protective of himself and his, how he choose to be with a girl or whatever. Like, it's just not time for him yet. So I do talk to him about that in those regards. And we talked about this on the show before. The key things that I really drill into him is around leadership, character, morality.
I just want to know about the women right now. I just want to know,
I hear
what do
you.
you tell him in regards to a
All
woman?
that ties in. And again, on this show I've talked about before, we haven't really deep dive into the women other than him abstaining and being on his purpose. That's what we really talked about. But as it relates to what you just introduced, and it's making me pivot, I'm like, I never considered the woman that he's going to have to deal with. That's his age, that doesn't come from the same cloth that of woman that I know or that I hang around with and that what I deal with. So that conversation is going to be different.
So then would you play it safe? Would you just say, I understand you want to trust, but don't put 100% in it?
Yeah, it's more or less gonna be like, man, you gotta vet her.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you. I want you to kind of think on it. I'm gonna tell you what my doctor
What was the answer though? What was your answer?
He said he was gonna come back to me because I was thinking about it in real time. The caveat is that I didn't think about the girls that he has to deal with that has a different mindset now. The mindset of these females now versus the woman that I'm currently dealing with or the women that I associate with. These are totally different girls that he has to deal with now. And my advice to him would be, honestly, to JR's point, probably going to be completely different.
I'm gonna just say this: like one of my previous doctors told me, I don't care if you're married, still strap up. And I'm gonna just leave that there.
Courtney. I thought JR was about to do a deep dive. Hey, JR Hey, that's the exact type of conversations that me and JR be having on the phone. I'll be like, hey JR, what you think about this? He hit me with a 1 or 2 line. I'll be like, So that means I'm gonna go ahead and do what I was gonna do in the first place.
What does that mean? Strap up though.
Well, his take is that okay, so I go to the doctor yearly, right? And I get everything done, even the stuff that's not on the sheet. I said I want everything done. And so he said, well, you don't live the lifestyle. Well, I had 2 doctors. One of the doctors told me that I don't have to get tested every year because I don't live that lifestyle. I'm not a high risk, which I'm like, okay. The old school doctor told me, look, you need to put a rub on. I don't care if you're married, in a relationship. I've had men that was married come back and got burned by their own wives. So he said, in order to protect yourself at all times, strap up. I don't care if it's your wife, friend, best friend, strap up. And this is what he told me. So I'm gonna just leave that there. Y'all can let that set in a little bit. And if y'all want to have those conversations after we get off with your peeps and say, hey, I think JR had a good point. I don't whatever. The question is, do you feel as though women keep a standby?
So yeah, I think quite a few do. I think quite a few do, and I think that depends on a couple different things. I think.
Do you feel as though that your lady has a standby?
Nah.
Absolutely. Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm 1000% sure about that.
So if you was to mess up like 2 months from now, you wouldn't see her in a relationship with somebody or either dating somebody?
Nah. Now, if it was a year from then, if I messed up and it was a year from then, Nah, but you know what's crazy? Let me tell you something that's crazy. Me and my girl talked about, when I first started watching Kevin Samuels content, and we talked about, because he speaks about, getting to a certain age and getting past the danger zone and, hammering out a deal. And what's interesting is that me and my girl had already built that infrastructure. We hadn't even listened. I definitely hadn't even listened to him. It was just what we did. We had I call it the getting out the ugly conversation. So everything that would make you not like that person, we got that out first. Okay. What you on? You on BS? Nah, I ain't on BS. Okay. You done playing games? Yeah, I'm done playing games. You done playing games? Yeah. What you want to do for the next whatever umpteen years? Okay. This is what we doing. This is what we doing. So I'm actually in a situation where we hammered out a deal. So now when you say, do I trust my girl? And I come back and I say 1000%. And then, you could ask why. And I'll tell you, because I have visibility to everything. I have access to everything. She's never given me a reason not to trust her. She's never
What do you mean by you hammered out a deal? What does that mean?
I just told you. We had a conversation. The deal.
No, I'm saying, like, is that the entirety of the deal? Is that she don't tell you everything?
No. It's not about telling anybody anything. The deal is what before we even engage in this relationship, before we even start down this path, right? What are you on? Right? What do you want? Ultimately, do you see yourself? Do you see this as a long-term situation? Right? And I don't, I get it. I'm on a public platform, so I don't want to give up too much on a public platform because I have not chosen to live my entire life in the public.
That's fair.
Come on.
But I mean, you mentioned it, so that's why I'm asking a follow-up.
No, and that's fair too. That's why I'm giving up as much as I can. But I
understand.
Yeah, I honestly thought I had said the conversation that me and my girl had initially was around, what are you doing? Are you still on BS? You still want to see other people? Are you still out here playing the field? Do you still want to do this? Do you still want to do that? And it was no. Okay, well, do you want to build together? Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is what we're doing. And here's the vision. Are you on this program? Yeah. So, okay, let's walk this path. So that's what the deal looks like. Thus far, that's what the deal looks like.
Well, really, you said that you have access to everything. So I'm assuming passcodes and things like that, right?
100%.
But if you trust her 1,000%, why in the world would you need those?
I don't.
So why do you have access to it?
Because that's how she felt comfortable. I don't even remember her passcode. I could just tell you I have access to it. I don't remember her passcode. So part of the deal, hammering out the deal, was here's the passcode to my phone. If you ever want to go through my phone and check my phone, here's the passcode to my phone.
Have you ever?
Nah.
You've never gone through any of her stuff? No comments or nothing?
He's never given.
Oh, really?
I just don't understand why we don't touch this. This is the crazy thing to me, fam. This is the crazy thing. And what I see go on in the manosphere. It's women can't be trusted at all. It's
okay,
like,
what is, I mean, it's
bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Get them before they get you.
Well, what would be the purpose of her giving you the passcodes and stuff?
I don't understand why you don't get that, Court.
I don't.
Okay, so
unless it's the idea of I want to make sure I trust you.
So I'm in my relationship for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this didn't happen yesterday.
Right.
This didn't happen 3 years ago. This happened at the onset of our relationship. We didn't know each other like that. We wasn't connected like that. So in the initial stages of us hammering out our deal, it was, hey, do you need the passcodes? Or because I was the one. I was the first one. Like, hey, if you need access, whatever, whoop, whoop, bop, bop, bop. Yeah. If you need access, my phone. I don't have passcodes on my phone, so it ain't nothing. Swipe it. You can get in.
What if somebody steals your phone? What if you lose your phone?
I was thinking the same thing, bro.
There's nothing for them to get access to. There's nothing on my 1000%. There's not, fam. I done had the same phone for years.
He got a Samsung. He got an Android.
Hey, JR, no, there's nothing. I'm on an Android. There's nothing for them to get
No, the
access.
Android can hold information real. I was just messing
There's
around.
nothing.
I was in Android for a while.
Listen, man, I'm a simple dude. There's nothing for anybody to get. I know y'all doing it, y'all moving, shaking, and bopping, and all this other stuff. And I get it. It's hard to imagine that a black man would have trust for a black woman. I get it. I'm just telling you in my situation.
Well, I'm gonna.
A black woman thing is a woman thing.
I mean, I hear you. And let me tell you something. What's interesting is my woman has led a very strategic life. And I won't give up her information because she's not comfortable with that, but she's been very strategic in how she's led her life.
I'm gonna just say this. I just feel as though like it's not a lot of men having conversations with the women, but I think amongst the men in the conversation that we have our son, I do think that if it was just all men, that you would probably say, I don't 100% trust any woman. No. I know that you're on the platform right now, and I know that it sounds all good, and you know, but if she's watching or any family member's watching, they say, okay, but I don't know.
Hey, really.
Hold on. Oh,
I know I got a follow-up question.
Go ahead. Wait. Can I respond to JR before you? I want you to lose your point. But for what JR is saying, I would say this. You know, all my day ones that may or may not be watching the show, that's in the group or not in the group, they'll tell you one way. They'll correct and say whatever one way or another, and that's cool. I'm telling you, it's brothers out here that trust their ladies. It's cool. And I didn't get to this point, and I ain't saying I've always been that way or I've always trusted every lady. I'm telling you, the lady that I'm with for the life that I've led and the experience that I have, yeah, I trust her.
Okay, Rilla, if she's in the room looking at you right now, can you blink twice?
Man, she ain't in the room, man. What's wrong with y'all, man? You want me to what's the name around, bro? But we know your woman in the room with you, so I can't wait to this question.
Second follow-up question is, does she pay your phone bill? Is that the reason why your phone stay unlocked? Does she?
Oh, boy, you being so disrespectful. Eddie Winslow, Eddie Winslow being super disrespectful. I'm with it, though. I'm with it. Let's go. I'm with it. Let's go, Eddie Winslow. Let's go.